Good morning, good evening, good night, whatever time you're watching this video right now. My name is Ryan Broderick. My skier friends call me Brody. The story behind that is because there was also another Ryan that worked at the North Face with myself, and we were both going by Ryan, and it just got too confusing, and so they called him Hudson, and they called me Brody, and that's kind of stuck with me, kind of followed me through my career. Today I'm here to educate you on the process of how one, such as myself in a wheelchair with a disability, can go up and go ski. A little background information, just real quick, is I ended up in the wheelchair from a skiing accident 4 years ago. Um, it's been a long road, but it's been an amazing journey, and I always tell my friends that I've been turning my adversity into my adventure. And so, without further ado, let's get to the ski. So this guy right here, this is my monoski. Also, I call him my rig because it's kind of the main hull of the sit ski. Um, it's also sometimes I call it my bucket because it's upside down right now. But if you can see, a little bit around. This is right side up. Here's the bucket that I kind of tucked myself into. I've got a few straps here. I've got my hip strap. This is a more waist strap. This one would be for my hips. There's a strap right here around where my shins would go. And then this foot strap. The foot strap just keeps myself in place. Honestly, I just tighten myself into this thing as much as I can because it's not worth coming out of. And it's kind of like, if you're a skier, you would understand that it's just like having your own boots. If you go out and go skiing in rental boots or loose boots, it creates a lot of slosh, a lot of play in the ski, and the same thing applies to the way that this monoski works. So I just got to tighten myself in there, make sure my hips are all good and everything. One feature that this monoski does have is a suspension system right here at the bottom. There's this shock. It's a hydraulic shock. There's a little spot right down here at the bottom so I can make some adjustments. Loosening it and tightening it creates more pressure or less pressure inside of the shock. So depending on the skiing conditions and what kind of skiing I'm going to be doing for that day, I'll kind of adjust it accordingly. Maybe if it's a firm packed day and I've got a nice sharp ski, I'd turn it down so the ski can be a little bit more bouncy and responsive. But if it's been a powder day or I feel like going off some jumps, I tighten it up because when I land, I don't want too much compression because it will spring me up. Also, same goes for when I'm cutting through powder. Cutting through the powder, I just want that thing to be pretty stiff so I can just charge right through it. That's pretty much the basics of my rig in itself. You might have heard this drop. This is a puck or a block. And this block is made to go with my bindings on my skis. There have been some modifications made to the ski. It's been quite a journey. I've got some friends who work up at Second Track Sports that help me out with all their busted skis, give me all the single skis, everything. But so what's different about this ski is the binding right here. This is an 18 din binding. If you don't know too much about binding dins, the higher the din, the more stiff it's going to be, the more strong it's going to hold. So yeah, so it's got really tight bindings on it right now. But the modifications that we've also made are right up here in the toe piece. There's a piece of U channel. It kind of sits like this, and so when I go to clip my rig in, just like you would clip a normal ski into a binding or a normal ski boot into a binding, you stick your nose up in here, and then this piece of U channel actually holds your toe from popping out. And on the tailpiece, I usually loosen it up when I'm not using it, so I can get it on and off easier, so I can pop this guy on by myself, because it's pretty difficult when the DINs are turned up really high. So that's where this custom block comes into place as well. What I'm gonna end up doing is loosening this binding. I'll clip in, and then I'll stick this inside the tailpiece. And then it's got this little cotter pin that I put on there, just holds it right in place. And so, just like the toe piece, how it will pop out side to side, the tail piece, if I don't have this puck in here, is likely to pop up, just like you could pop out of your bindings if you go too far forward. Some of the downsides to having this puck and this U-channel up in here is if I'm skiing too hard or go off of a jump or kind of land a little funny, there's a high probability of me either blowing the binding apart or also ripping it out of the ski. Honestly, I prefer it to rip out of the ski because I can just get skis for days. I've got all sorts of skis sitting in my garage. The bindings are harder to come by. So I'm gonna grab this drill and loosen up my binding real quick, and we'll get this rig popped onto my ski. This is just a normal drill, number 3 bit, a little long. Loosen that guy up. Check the DIN, see where it's at. Looks like the DIN's pretty low. This drill really comes in handy. So I'll set this guy on the ground. Usually I'm up in the snow, and I'll generally just put him on the snow so I can go and push myself to wherever I've got to go. I get around the rig, kind of maneuver myself. Don't always get it straight the first time, but that's all right. Nope. As long as I can get it there. So just like a normal ski and a normal binding, I've got the toe tucked into the toe piece. And now, just to help myself with a little bit of leverage, I'm coming behind the ski. Got the ski in position, and since I loosened that binding, it should pop pretty easily. That sound was the tail piece clicking in. I've got my block. I'm going to use this block. I'm going to put it underneath the tail piece, which, like I mentioned before, is going to prevent the tail piece from popping down or releasing my rig. Now that we got my ski all together, this is the majority of it. It really is. The only other thing that I absolutely have to go out and ride, at least to get around. Sometimes when I'm skiing powder, I don't feel like I need them, but really do. They are lifesavers. Are these guys right here? These are my outriggers. And the outriggers are just kind of a special made object that right now are in pick mode. You can see how they're just upright. And on the bottom they have skis, little tiny skis. And there's a little wire right here that you can use, and then when I'm out and ready to go, I just pull it and it pops out, and then I'm ready to go out and go slide. So really, if I want to push myself and get around, I keep it in pick mode. Push myself, and get to wherever I'm going, and when I'm ready to ski, I just pop them out. When I'm going, I'll show you kind of what I do to go get on the lift. Actually, I'm kind of running out of time right now. Honestly, so what I would do is I'd transfer into my chair, with all my gear on, put my outriggers on, push myself over to the chairlift, And it may be kind of hard to see from where you're at, but there's a little gap underneath where this seat is right here. Yeah, there you go. We can see it. There's this gap that's right here. So when the chairlift's coming, I'll reach my right arm behind me and grab onto it, and I use my left arm in the pick mode and push off the ground and lift the bucket up, and then the chair comes in and swoops me up. Pretty awesome. Quite a spectacular experience. I get a lot of people asking me, "What's going on? I've never seen this thing." It was way cool. One time I was just hauling down this trail and I go flying past this little 9, 10, 11-year-old, and he was like, "Oh, dude, what? Whoa, that thing is so cool!" And it's just like gives me so much hope and so much desire to keep on riding hard. Just feeding off all the energy of all the people in the mountains. And the one thing that I really want you guys to get from this is that even though you may see somebody with a disability, it doesn't mean that we're limited. It means we do have challenges, but we can still get out, still shred. And my challenge to you would be, if you see somebody in a wheelchair or you see somebody maybe with a disability, don't be afraid to talk to them and say what's up, but maybe also recommend to them, say, I know of a guy who does the skiing, and he does it up with Wasatch Adaptive Sports, which is in Salt Lake. And so they do cycling, yoga, skiing. They do a lot of activities, mainly focused on outdoors. And so I would just challenge you to invite them to search it and look it up, because it really could open so many doors and so much hope to a person who might be in a similar situation. Thank you.